Hello and welcome to Season Quest. My name's Lucy. I'm going to be joined by my friends Charlie, Tom, and Troy as we try to solve this mystery. Enjoy the episode.
And as you drive away, all of you think back and you remember this like funny old puppet show that you used to watch about Coconutty the lobster. For some reason that's in your head. And you're aware, you kind of like know that was a puppet controlled by a human.
Oh.
And then you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Never mind.
I hate this.
That's your thoughts.
But also
God,
I love it.
this
I love it.
sucks.
Yeah, I love gaslighting my friends.
I've got little marks on my notes now for all the people and properties that we assume are dead.
What do you guys want to do next? Is it time to take a rest? Is it time to keep doing something? What's the plan?
I feel like for Poppy's sake, we should probably have a breather.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also for Mr. Greyscale, who did just accidentally murder someone, and yeah, I'd like a rest too.
Do you two have houses? I forget. Actually, you know what? Do the two of you have houses or not? Because I forget.
Yeah, I've invited you around a couple times. You just never came.
Yes, I
have
assumed you
apartments.
meant your green rooms.
Yeah, which you never came to either.
No.
You show up to the green rooms like, where the fuck are they? I was so excited for this dinner date.
I didn't realize you invited other people, huh? Well, we can either go back to my manor, or we could swing by one of your apartments.
Let's go back to that manor. That sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds fancy.
Right, you know the direction. Let's.
Right? Rightio.
I say, sitting in the back of a golf cart.
Facing away from us.
I take out the little doll of Alma and I look at it.
What
It's
color
green.
did you say it was? It's green. Cool.
It's green.
Yeah.
It's green.
I think we need to go back, relax, and regroup, and figure out where we'll go next.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
sounds good.
we do still have to visit the hospital at some point.
Yeah.
Poppy, as you're holding this doll of Alma, you feel comfort. You feel like your fears starting to melt away.
Mm-hmm.
And you also feel, as you look at it, that you've never really heard of Alma toys. So this is kind of cool. Kind of dope.
I give
Yeah.
it a little hug in case it's a voodoo doll. I treat a lot of things like just
As
in
voodoo
case it's a
dolls.
voodoo doll.
Just in case, yeah.
Just in
Yeah,
case.
as you give it a hug, you feel a warmth over you. And the good kind, not the fire kind.
Oh, thank God.
When Lobster Coconutty transformed before our very eyes, we didn't see a
Horrifying.
hand inside them or anything like that, right? We saw no indication of human.
No indication of human. You just
Hey.
flipped it over and it was a puppet.
Hey, Tom,
Yeah?
am I feeling injured at all?
Yeah, your head really hurts.
Mm.
And it's probably the first time that you've kind of felt... It's weird. You remember feeling pain, but not
Yeah.
really? It's like
So
a distant memory.
The shock is sort of worn off, and now I'm focusing more on this pain, and
Yeah.
it feels new. Like this is a new kind of pain that I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a new sort of pain. It feels almost... It's familiar in the sense that you're aware that you will have felt pain before, but it's not something that you remember feeling.
When I talk,
Does that make sense?
yeah, it
Like,
does.
pain
When
is
I talk-
something we've always played up for the camera, so we know what the emotion is we're portraying, and he's just feeling it for real, not knowing that we never have.
Yeah,
Unless
Yeah.
we have.
is my general shape when I talk? Is it a little bit fucked up? As if like I've got something like my skeleton or something is like sort of misshapen or broken or anything.
No, nothing seems broken.
Okay, cool.
It's more like you just have that sort of dull throbbing in your head.
Yeah.
And you feel a little bit woozy.
Yeah, I definitely need a rest. Ugh.
Yeah, it's been a day.
You guys get to Mr. Greyscale's massive cliffside manor. It's fucking excellent.
Yeah, it is.
Really nice. it's got a flat screen TV. It's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's wall mounted, so
So you know they got that money.
he got that old
That's
money.
crazy.
Obviously, there's his hearse limo parked outside.
Yeah,
There's
parked outside.
beautiful gardens with croquet, petanque, and other outdoor sports that have never been played but are set up so they look nice and presentable.
Yeah, lawn bowls. Is that what petanque is?
Yeah.
Just made a revelation.
Do you have a hedge maze?
There's hedge carvings, but not a maze. There was one, but they took it down for the I don't know, some sort of
Heated infinity pool.
yes, an upgrade.
There's a pool out back, but you never swim in it because you're a puppet.
Yeah.
Being wet is uncomfortable because you're all fabric. Yeah, you get to the house. It's so nice.
a really
You
beautiful
have
home.
multiple guest rooms. For Caesar
nobody's
and
ever stayed in
Poppy.
them.
Yeah. For Caesar and Poppy, it really sits in for you right now how much
does
more.
he get paid than us?
Yeah, how much more Mr. Greyscale
Yeah.
gets paid. You're like, holy shit.
We share one golf cart.
He has a hearse.
He has a house and a pool and games. He's got more bedrooms than I have just regular rooms.
Why don't we head inside? You can sit down. I'll have somebody make us a lovely warm cup of comfort drink, and we can just talk about what we need to do.
Fucking comfort drink.
A little bit of southern comfort.
I was like, well, I
bit of
considered
comfort.
tea, and then I was like, maybe we wouldn't have tea. I don't know. I'll say, and then realize how much just like alcohol it sounded instead.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You can have tea if you want.
Yeah, you're having a warm cup of comfort.
Cup of hot.
Okay.
I just asked for a whiskey, actually, I think. Do we
Damn,
have
that
a
is some
whiskey?
hot
Is that
comfort.
allowed, Tom?
Yeah, that's allowed.
Yeah.
Whiskey's not a
Honestly.
proper
Right
noun.
away, sir.
I'll have a whiskey if you have it. I mean, I don't have to say if. You probably have a room filled with liquor.
Yeah, you open the door and you see Mr. Greyscale's butler. Does his butler have a name? I can't remember. I don't think he did.
No,
It
we
was just-
I don't believe we've actually gone to my house. We've only seen a driver.
Yeah, but this is the same guy. You
Yeah.
have one assistant who does everything for you.
His name is. Why don't I have any lizard words in my head whatsoever?
Monitor.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He's Mr. Monitor. No, Mister's my name.
Dr. Monitor.
He's a doctor and he works for a rich guy as a butler. I got my doctorate in butlering.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he can be Dr. Butler.
Monitor.
Monitor.
Dr. Butler. Just Dr. Butler now. He goes, "Oh, evening, sir. You didn't say you would have guests. Are these your crewmates, castmates? How is the filming today?"
Yeah. Dr. Butler, why don't you just go in there and get us a nice cup of comfort? I'd have a whiskey on the rocks over there for Mr. Caesar. And, Papi Mâché?
Just tea will be fine, thank you.
What did you want?
Me?
Troy? Yeah.
You know what? He just has a, like, steaming hot chocolate, but we'll put a shot of Bailey's in there.
Nice.
Right away, sir. Will your friends be staying for dinner?
I look to them.
Yeah, I could eat.
Sounds good.
Yes, bring us everything, and we'll eat away and just.
Everything. Well, shit. Made of money?
Be our
Yes.
guest.
I will make your favorite, sir.
Excellent.
Roast bird.
With
Nondescript
fresh
bird.
eggs. Uncooked, of course.
He disappears into like a sort of side room as you guys sit in the lounge. Comes back and brings you all your orders. Whiskey on the rocks,
Thank you.
tea, and the hot choco with Bailey's, sir. He gives you a kiss on the forehead and steps back out to make some dinner. You guys are all sitting around with your nice, relaxing drinks.
I feel like it's silent for a little while.
Yeah,
I
I imagine it was.
I didn't really know what we'd be getting into. That was a lot today.
Yeah.
It was.
Before 2 weeks ago, I didn't think anything bad could happen. And before today, I didn't think anything crazy could happen. And I don't like being wrong.
I dealt with a lot of things on Papa Noir Murders, but what happened with Coconutty Lobster very much...
Why are you British?
It's such a good question. Such a good question.
That is, yeah, that is the
of
question.
things on Puppet Noir Murders. I'm an actor. You see.
I'm a stage performer.
I was talking to
Thespian.
Peter Jackson about how being stabbed in the back is actually something that's quite different from what you'd expect.
Yeah, was I British before or not? Maybe you guys are
No, you're
misremembering,
American.
just like Elmer's colour.
Sure, if you want.
Well, I say, I'm so sorry.
There it is.
Well, I dealt with a lot of things on Puppet Noir Murders, but nothing even compares to what happened with Coconutty the Lobster. His whole
Yeah, that
bottom
was
half
weird.
disappeared. Look, I took photos. And I
I
passed
don't
my
want to see it
phone
again.
to Poppy.
I didn't see what happened. What? Did he die?
Well, he ran at me. I used my tail to defend myself. I defended myself, and I knocked him to the floor, and then he just lay there.
Deflated.
Eyes
That's
kind of
so
glazed over, and his
weird.
bottom half disappeared. That man had legs. I've seen his legs.
He's got a lot of legs.
Yeah, right? I've watched his cooking show. I know he scuttles about, and he scuttles into our set to come and talk to us, and then all of a sudden he didn't have legs.
That cooking show, I don't know. It seemed a lot more fake now that I don't know. Never mind.
Something about it, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It didn't make sense that he thought we did it, right? And it didn't make sense to him either.
It didn't make sense for him to accuse us of murder and then try to murder us.
I also didn't even know he lived on that side of town.
I understand that it's suspicious we were in the house of a deceased puppet, but...
Well, come on. We don't know that Elmer's defeat.
The feast.
I can't even say the word.
We don't know that Elmer's deceased. He could be Demille.
I've brought everything, sir, including
Here's Elmer on a platter.
Shit.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Hmm?
I go up to the TV, turn it on, and see if I can find a past episode of Craftostrophe.
Would you have it saved on your DVR, Mr. Greyscale?
Mr. Greyscale never watches what he's in, but I'm sure maybe the help would have saved a
Maybe
copy.
there's like repeats on.
Dr. Butler. You flick to the channel, which shows all the shows. The only channel. You check the TV guide. You search through it. Craftostrophe's not there. Not in its regular slot.
Is there one from like last month we can look through?
Would you have a TV Guide magazine? Remember, it's early in life. There's not, playback's not normal yet. Early in life, like fucking the 1990s was early in the life
Yeah.
of the universe.
I mean,
It's like the
Would we
2000s
get-
or whatever, right?
would we get like DVD copies of each season as they air or anything like that? As
Yeah, probably.
yeah,
Since
so I
you're
assume
cast.
I've got past ones.
So I
Yeah.
open one of them for the first time. I take off the plastic seal.
Yeah. What season do you choose?
Season 4, I think. Season 4
Yeah.
is one of the best performing seasons we've had. And I pop in, I skip around to like episode 5.
Do you remember what episode 5 was about?
Yeah, episode 5 was about poolside safety and other summer tips because it was around summer
Yeah.
vacation time.
Yeah. You play that episode, and everything looks fake. You guys have the sort of puppety jump that puppets have. And also, as you watch the episode, you notice in the background there's sort of like there's these like figures with blurry faces, and they look like you, but they're not felt. They're not like paper. They're not they don't seem to be made of any material. They're almost like pasty. They've got like hair growing out of their head. Humans. You guys in the podcast would know. But your characters are looking at it thinking,
This is so fucking creepy!
it looks familiar, but like not right.
Poppy's kind of like flinching watching this. Because I imagine Poppy would operate on like fishing wire
Yeah.
or something similar, because she isn't a puppet like normal hand puppets are. And like seeing holes poked in me to jump around, controlled by like some woman in the background, is just very jarring.
Yeah.
And like to Poppy, when she's making origami, she's very meticulous and controlled, but her hands just kind of flap around, and it's almost like stop motion in front of her.
Yeah.
It's very scary to see such a crude interpretation of what she assumes reality is.
Yeah, and Caesar, you can see yourself painting a lifeguard drawing, but there's already a painting there. You're just dapping a paintbrush on there that's taped to your hand, controlled by a stick.
No, because I remember painting that whole thing, and I was making a point of using waterproof paints. That's not how I hold my paintbrush. And like on the screen, I'm like, and it's important to remember, let it dry before you bring it into the pool.
Yeah.
And then I probably like get in the pool with it, and I remember swimming in water in my memory, but like on screen, it's just like construction paper, blue waves.
Yeah. And Mr. Greyscale is also on that construction paper with the blue waves.
Poppy's sitting up in like a lifeguard tower.
Yeah. It's weird. It's not right.
I know we literally just started recording, but can I just talk to Tom for a bit?
Bruh.
I have questions.
Removing
off,
headphones.
Hey, Lucy. So the reason you wanted to talk to me was because, and I know that this is the case, yeah, I'll make sure that Charlie gets fired. Don't worry.
Yeah. Both from his show that he works on and also this. I want him to have nothing left.
Yeah.
Anywho, so I have a question.
Go ahead.
The boys had kind of talked about finding Coconutty and like the body and stuff, and it looking really different from what he was like as a person. What does Elmer look like on the Puppety show? Because my main concern is the little Elmer I found is the real Elmer.
Yeah, Elmer doesn't look exactly like the toy from what you're watching on the show. It looks like a sort of almost like a caricature of the puppet. It's a bit more toy-like. It's stiffer, clearly.
Yeah.
But I am going to get you to do a charm roll, difficulty of 12.
I rolled a 12 exactly.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you're looking at this toy, and you look up at the puppet on the screen, and you feel this sort of connection to it, where maybe more so than it being Elmer himself, but more that it's got a strong connection to it, like like there's something there.
So, sorry, do you mean like this little Elmer is a person or was a person or something?
No.
But not that Elmer.
You don't think it's a person, you think it's something, but you think it's connected to Alma, and you think that it's definitely connected to this like disappearance.
Note to self, find a Ouija board. My other little thing is, have you ever heard the like the little lesson to like teach kids about bullying, where it's like scrunch up a ball of paper, and then like try to flatten out and see if you can fix it, but you can't because you can't take things back. Being made of paper, I'm just now really worried there's been many versions of me.
Yeah.
I don't have any like insightful thoughts about that, but it's just a concern on my mind. I'm done.
Okay.
Okay.
Charlie, were you there when I was talking about the Owen Wilson cyan story this morning?
He was
No.
not.
Okay, this can go on pod because it's funny. This morning, Cyan was like to me, unprompted, she went, "Hey Tom, Owen Wilson Joker be like, you want to know how I got these cars?" With the worst Owen Wilson impression I've ever heard, like just an American dude. And I was like, that's an awful impression of Owen Wilson, but also a really funny joke. So I went, "Wow, you want to know how I got these cars?" And she went, "That's a terrible Owen Wilson impression." And I was like, who are you to talk? You just fucking... You just made him a guy.
There's genuinely nothing that brings me more joy than telling you two, Tom and Charlie, that your impressions are bad when they are. It's because you're so personally offended. It's like I've called you ugly. Like
I do want to know. I want to hear it from impartial judges. Is my Owen Wilson bad? I think it's registerable as Owen Wilson, just right.
I
It's
agree
not
with
good.
As
that.
long as you say a recognizable catchphrase.
Like,
then
wow.
Yeah, look, we both can't do a good Owen Wilson, but it's recognizable.
Everyone
name
knows
an
that Owen...
impression you can do, Charlie.
Fucking every other impression I do.
Fucking Star
spot on.
Jockey. I'll have you know that Charlie's impression that he did that one time of of fucking David Bowie, it's really good. Anyways, back to business. Yeah, you guys are watching this tape, and it just finished, and the credits rolled, and sort of you saw a bunch of names that you didn't recognize. Like none of the puppets that work on it, the producer wasn't listed as producer. It wasn't listed. There wasn't like a writer like Flossie McTooth, I think his name was, or Toothy
Yeah.
McFloss or something like that.
Yeah, Flossie McTooth.
Are there people playing us?
Yeah, there are.
What are their names?
You've got for
Oh, no.
Kaiser Canvas. You've got Benicio Veltrade for.
But on screen when he's acting, it's Benicio, but it's Benicio when he's off screen.
For Mr. Greyscale, you've got Robert Grayford. And for Poppy Mâché, you've got Cindy Crawford. You come up with a bunch of names on the spot. I'll come up with a better one for Poppy Mâché. What about Poppy...
I like that it's
what about-
Cindy Crawford. When she's not singing Girls Just Want to Have Fun,
She's playing Poppy Mâché.
And celebrity guest, Cindy Crawford.
You were Robert Grayford, is that right, Troy?
that's
I'm
pretty
just
good.
going to make a note of this so that I remember in case it comes up again. And
I was,
you guys ask me. You guys go, that wasn't the name that you told us before. You were Benicio...
I was Benito Mussolini.
I don't think it was that.
I'm really
I'll-
sorry I
I'll-
did this to you, Tom. I did genuinely think it would be a clue.
You know what? I did probably have... last session, when I was talking about this, I did have an idea of, like, I could do something really cool where I have you guys, like, have the people who acted as you. But I forgot the names that I was going to do, which is why...
You know what you could have done, Tom?
Yeah.
You could have just done, like, names that really sound like our real names.
Charlie Leeming. So it could have been, like, Charles Preeming.
Charles Preing.
Troy Jalcum. And Juicy Loans. For Charlie's one, I've just got Benico Italian last name.
I think
And
that'll be it.
I'll hear it in the episode next week, so I wouldn't worry about it, guys.
I'm gonna ask so many more questions about it this session then.
Fuck you. Okay, so yeah, you guys see the credits roll. You see like those names next to yours that like are playing you, and you don't recognize the names. You're not sitting there going like, "That's weird." You sort of have this moment of who was playing me.
Is there like behind the scenes stuff on the DVD or VHS or whatever it is?
No, VHSs didn't have that sort of technology. You could just put it in and it would play the thing that it was supposed to play.
I'm just
Didn't we say it was a DVD?
Oh, maybe. That was like a week ago.
So, what the fuck was that? That wasn't our show.
yeah, something's definitely wrong with that. Did we ever notice anyone on set that maybe shouldn't have been there?
What do you mean by that?
Like people where we never actually knew what their jobs were and we never saw them do their job.
Yeah, there'd be a few people like that, but it's like a film set, so you kind of just assume that everyone there is doing something. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
You know, like there might be someone sitting there who's just like watching what's happening and they're like health and safety, but you know, you just haven't had a health and safety thing come up.
Oh my god, health and safety is 100% a banana puppet.
That's pretty good. Are we all approximately the same height?
Yeah, you'd be around the same size. I think Mr. Greyscale... No, sorry, I think
I'm long but low.
Yeah, I think Caesar is the tallest one. Mr. Greyscale's probably a little bit shorter than that, and then you're the shortest one, Puppy. Because I think you described yourself as quite short.
Yeah, I'm quite little. Big bit of paper, but all folded up, it's quite little.
One sheet?
Yes. But, in my head, my face is pipe cleaners.
Oh.
My face details.
Oh.
I realized I'd never described that, but in my head, that's how it looks to me.
I've always imagined it as drawn in pen, like an Amazing World of Gumball.
I've got a real problem with character design where I always leave out a crucial detail. And I can't draw it to express myself in a way that makes any sense. Because last time I tried to draw my character, Tom made fun of me for about 45 minutes.
Which one?
My character that I did in Gore.
Oh, yeah, but that was funny.
And every single time another person came over, you'd be like, Nick, you'd never believe the stupid thing Lucy did. In my head, pipe cleaners, but I'm happy if for people's personal imagination they want to do drawn. This little stick figure.
I remember.
She had spikes for feet.
I don't think I've drawn one of my characters since Nick Kidman, which was my terrible little half man, half goat.
Yeah, I drew
Image.
Oliver, and I think that's the last time I've drawn one of my characters. Amazing drawing,
Beautiful.
Charlie. That can go on the Twitter.
We'll do a side-by-side comparison of our drawing.
Sorry, where were we?
Apparently, there's credits and there's
Yeah.
Oh
names
yeah,
we
and
don't
you
recognize.
guys are all around the same height, but there's like slight differences. Like Caesar's a little
Yeah.
bit taller and stuff like that.
So, like, as different as humans are. Okay, I won't press
Yeah.
for my question then, because it wouldn't make sense.
Now, I was there on the day of filming, and I know for certain that I played my character. But these other names, those aren't names I recognize.
Understand.
Maybe it's like the writing team or something?
But I imagine it's not like one person writes my lines, and also we would have met them. Surely. We've been doing this for years.
It's also
Yeah.
just not the kind of names that people have. What the fuck is up with this, like, sort of, you know, like, you don't know people with this, like, super Anglical first name, last name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
Italian names are fine, but, you know, normally a name is like a pun, or, like, just, like, name blank, name the blank, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Coconutty the lobster.
If it was Cindy Crawfish and she was a lobster, then it would make sense.
I mean, she might be a lobster.
Cindy Crawdad?
Cindy Crawford. She could be a car.
Anyway, we were resting, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was like turning into night, so you were kind of like going back to, or turning into evening, so you head back to Mr. Greyscale's to kind of get ready for bed.
Yeah.
It was about to be dinner time.
Yeah, I'd asked for everything.
What was his name? Dr. Butler. He comes out with a huge, like, meal for everyone. All your favorites are there. Pizza for Caesar.
Thank you.
Bug for Mr. Greyscale. And glue for Poppy. I don't fucking know.
I'll eat
Thank
the glue, it's
you,
fine.
Mr. Monitor Mr. Doctor. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Monitor. My Dr. Butler, I appreciate you preparing this food for us.
No worries, sir. Pats you on the head.
Aw.
If you needed me, simply call.
Will do. Now I reckon, friends, I am gonna call you friends because castmates and colleagues isn't really appropriate with the show
Thank you.
cancelled.
Are you only realizing this now?
Yes. Now
Okay.
we should probably eat up and maybe get some rest so we can solve more mysteries tomorrow.
That's a good idea.
Eat up, rest up, and solve up.
At some point during the evening, I do want to have a bit of a look around Mr.'s house.
Sure thing.
Because I want to compare this is another house I haven't been in. I want to compare what I'm seeing here to what I saw in the previous house. See if there's the same, like, shit missing and stuff. Like, I want to look in the fridge to be like, see if there's actual food or if it's all the fake shit again.
Smart.
So I'm gonna do that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I can either organise the monitor to prepare you all a room here in my lovely humble abode for the evening, or you can head home. I assume you'd want to stay over, though.
Yeah, I want to
Let's
stay over.
stay.
Because after what I saw today, I don't want to go back to my apartment.
Yeah.
Your single apartment
Yeah,
studio.
I saw some shit.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, Poppy, if you want to look around, explain to me how you're doing it and how you're going to roll, and I'll give you a DC.
I'm just comparing to what I saw, like, do the drawers have things in them, or are they being rendered as we go? Does the fridge have food? Like, I'm mainly looking in the kitchen because that's where I mainly looked last time.
Okay.
But also, like, things on the wall that, like, would belong to Mister and that sort of stuff as well.
Okay. Yeah, do a brains check. We'll say difficulty of, like, 10.
Okay. Wow. 5.
Okay, fail. You're not noticing anything in particular. Like, when you look through the kitchen, it looks like a normal kitchen.
Maybe I'm too
So-
rattled by the fire to really...
To really be
Think
able to
properly.
actually do a mystery. To do a mystery.
Tom, I'm going to text you something. If it doesn't mean anything, I just won't include it.
Okay, while Lucy types up this message, I'll just go through. Mr. Greyscale, you go to your room. It's the same. It's like your bed's been made and stuff like that, as it is every morning. Or every night, rather. It's always been made by the time you get home. And it's just this nice, fancy room. You lie down in your comfy bed. Do you want to do anything else before you go to sleep?
Speep. No, I imagine I flick on my little lamp, which of course heats up my bed, which is kind of more solid than most people's beds would be. It's more like a rock to bask on, but it is, it is comfy, and I just settle in. I farewell my fellow friends, and yeah, I curl up for the evening. I let Monitor / Dr. Butler know to wake me up bright and early, and then I pass out. Unless I don't.
You lie down in your bed, and you shut your puppety eyes. Caesar,
Wait,
Yeah.
do I?
do you have anything? Well, just like the same way you regularly do.
I thought you said none of our eyes closed.
Well, you don't shut your puppety eyes, then you shut your puppety mind off.
Good.
Caesar, do you want to go? Do you want to do anything before you go to bed, or?
I go into my guest room and I look around for a bit. I sort of pace the room, just taking it all in. Draft up a text to Origin, but I don't send it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just sort of like lay in bed and stare at the painting on the wall across from me until I fall asleep.
Yeah. And finally, Poppy, do you have anything you want to do before you go to Betty Buys?
The thing I messaged you.
Yep. Do you want me to not say it on pod?
Here, if you guys stay silent for a second, I'll just mute myself in this, and then I'll say it, and then I can edit it in, and it'll work, and it'll be fine. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
When I go to bed, I leave a piece of paper and a pen, or a pencil, or whatever, next to the little toy of Alma, in case it wants to say anything. Continue.
Okay. So you do that.
Yeah.
And you lie down in the bed, and you also start to drift off to sleep. And puppets don't dream. Every morning or every night you go home from filming your show or doing whatever, you go to the bar and you lie down in your bed, and time almost seems to black out, and then you are awake for the next day.
Episode title.
Creepy. Puppets
Mr.
don't sleep. A dream.
Puppets don't dream, yeah.
It goes really
The
well
pup-
with Cowboys Don't Squeak.
The puppets dream of electric sheep, of felt sheep.
Of wool sheep.
I really like that.
So, Poppy and Caesar, you guys both wake up after not dreaming as you regularly do, but Mr. Greyscale, you wake up in an unfamiliar place. It's like a jungle.
Oh.
You wake up in It's this overgrown jungle. You smell smoke and gunpowder. You hear a bang, and the tree next to you explodes with bark. And even though you don't quite recognize it, you know that was a bullet. And you look down, you've got a gun in your hands,
Oh my god.
and you feel a really strong urge to run.
More flashbacks.
I'm just imagining this if they were puppets. Like Mr. Greyscale looks down, and like it would be a plastic or a water gun on a stick that just like rises up into his hand.
When you shoot it, a little flag comes out that says bang.
But also horrifying. Yeah, puppet war
this
PTSD
sucks.
flashbacks. Well, I never.
You feel this really strong urge to run. There's like fear gripping at your heart right now.
Yeah, it's a new feeling. The desire to run.
Yeah. Mr. Greyscale's never been the running type.
No, I'm kind of darting my head left and right. I'm trying to figure out where I am, how to get the best way to get out. He's kind of frantic.
Yeah, and you kind of look left and right for a while and don't see anything, and then you look forward, and it wasn't there before for sure when you were like just kind of like when you woke up staring at the jungle, but you do see a clearing ahead with a little house, a little hut, a wooden hut ahead of you.
Yeah, I start, as a lizard would, like waddling swiftly.
Yeah,
towards
and as
the
it happens,
clearing.
as you do that, you hear gunshots firing, and you hear explosions to either side of you. You get to the hut, you open the door, and when you open the door, you see fire, and you see Coconutty in his puppet form lying on the ground.
No.
And then you wake up in your bed,
Oh,
and you've
well.
never dreamed before.
Monitor? Dr. Butler?
He walks swiftly into the room. Yes, sir. Would you like your morning breakfast in bed?
No, I'll come out, but I just need. Can you give me a little bit of a checkup? I just had the weirdest, like a daydream or an imagination, but it was at night, and I'm not sure.
Well, that's
Thought.
bizarre, sir.
Thought that I wasn't having.
Right?
He walks up to you, and he puts a felt hand on your head. You feel normal, sir. What should I be checking for?
Felt good.
Sick?
Dr. Felt good. Dr. Goodfelt. Oh my god, I love him. Tom, character request, Dr. Goodfelt.
Okay, there'll be a Dr. Goodfelt, sure, maybe.
I'm not too sure what you'd be checking for. I'm unsure, uncertain, and unwell, perhaps. But I feel a lot better already. Yes. Prepare breakfast.
Right away, sir. And he hands you your bedside glass of water, kind of sensing that you're a bit, uncomfortable. And he leaves the room. Caesar, you wake up.
Yeah, buddy.
As you do every day,
every
and
day.
you got to get to the show. You're gonna be late for
true.
filming.
Yeah, it's
So-
fuck. I always fucking sleep in.
Yeah, so you better make sure that you don't want to be late again. You don't want to get fired.
Yeah, I put on my robe and my what's that thing called? The leaf crown, leaf circle thing. There's an actual name for it.
Yeah,
Laurel?
What
yeah,
did you say?
oral wreath.
Laurel,
Wreath.
right?
Laurel. Why did I say oral?
Laurel.
But Lucy did that first.
Yeah, I was copying what Lucy said, and my brain filled in the blanks wrong by saying oral instead of laurel.
Yeah, and I go outside the room I'm in.
You're still in Mr. Greyscale's house,
Okay.
which is weird. You don't
And-
normally sleep at someone else's house, but you're kind of, you're like, oh, that's right. I went over to his after we were done filming the show. They've probably already left by now. I better get to the show.
Fuck. Fucking assholes. I wish they woke me up. I run downstairs, put on my sandals at the door, and just go outside.
Yeah, and it's Demelina's as you know it. Your golf cart's sitting there.
That's sweet. They must have taken the Hearst limo. All right.
Yeah.
I jump into the golf cart and I make my way.
Yeah, you start to drive towards the studio, as you do, to go to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Poppy, you wake up, also just in your bed, as you always do.
Yeah.
You look to the paper that you put down besides the little doll, and... Sorry, spoilers.
You're an arsehole.
What? I don't know
It's
how I
fine.
can... I'll mute my mic and I'll explain what happened, I guess, but then you can't hear it. Should I get them to
Me
take
and
their
Troy-
headphones off?
No, you've already said it. It's fine.
I'll take my headphones off. I didn't know what you said. I wasn't.
Take the
listening,
headphones
let's
off,
be
everyone
honest.
else. You look at the paper that you put beside the little doll
Yeah.
last night, and you were hoping that it would write like a message to help you figure out what was going on or where it was. And you do see something written down in nice little polite handwriting saying,
Polite.
"This is not yours."
That's so creepy.
But then you see a little smile next to it that says, "Sometimes it's good to share."
Sorry, is this being written in real time or is it already pre-written?
It's already pre-written.
Okay. I say to the little doll, I promise I'll look after you.
And maybe it's just like your imagination, but when you look at the doll, it's already sort of smiling, but when you look at it, it seems to smile a little bit more.
It's gonna be okay.
It doesn't
I'm done.
respond. Cool.
Hey guys, good news. Tom did something fucking creepy.
Classic.
I said last night that this wasn't going to be as creepy of a session, but Lucy keeps doing things that make me want to be creepy. Like, Lucy keeps giving me these creepy prompts that are like
Okay,
perfect
that sounded
for...
victim blamey.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Yeah.
You hear a knock at your door, Poppy,
Yeah.
and through it, Dr. Butler, what was his name, Troy? Monitor?
Yeah.
He goes, Miss Mâché, would you like breakfast?
Yes please. And I put my things away.
Any requests?
Just whatever's going.
Understood. Thank you. And he leaves your door. So, Mr. Greyscale and Poppy Mâché, you're both in the house. You could be you're sitting around the sort of dining table. Do you guys want to do a brains check for me? Difficulty of 15.
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck off.
I could do
I
it.
don't have
We
that
could
much.
we could do it lower. We could do 12. How about that?
No, you've said 15.
Let me just check something in the book really quick.
Yeah, okay.
Let's say difficulty of 10.
Okay. I'm rolling my D8. So the only way I can hit it is if I hit the 8 on the D8. Get to roll again.
Or you could spend money.
Adversity,
Adversity
tokens.
tokens.
That's the word.
Or you could spend real life money and pay Tom to lower the DC.
Yeah.
I only rolled a 5 though, so and I've only got 1 adversity token.
Well,
I just
now you get
gained
another one.
right? Yeah.
8 in total.
8 in total.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'll buy a win.
Yeah, you spend 2 adversity tokens and buy yourself a win, and you notice that Caesar's sandals aren't on the shoe rack, where they were yesterday.
Mr. Doctor, have you guys seen Caesar this morning?
Mr. Doctor.
What? No, I haven't.
Dr. Butler puts down the plates and said, he wasn't responding to my knocks this morning.
I'll go over to the door that to Caesar's room, whatever one it would have been in, not quite loudly. And when I assume doesn't respond, I open the door.
Yeah, there's no response. And you open the door and you see an unmade bed. Someone who's clearly gotten ready very quickly.
Yeah.
And no one in there.
I check outside.
There's
Our
no
golf
golf
cart's
cart.
gone.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's one of our golf carts and we're just kind enough to share, or did we go 50-50 on a golf cart?
That's up to you guys.
I think it's one of the studio's golf carts, and we just take it.
Have no intention of returning it.
Yeah.
That's a
been
really good
commandeered.
answer. I go back inside, I'm like, Mr. Caesar's gone.
Yes,
I don't know
not
where he
in-
could have gone.
He's not in any of the bathrooms or the study or.
Oh,
the
we have cell
liquor
phones. I'll
cabinet.
fucking text him.
Oh yeah.
I forgot. I forgot we just
True.
have cell phones. I'll
Things
just
are so
text
much more
him.
trivial when you have a cell phone.
I'll just text Caesar and be like, hey, where are you? You assume I'm already at set and think, mad at you for being like, hey, where are you?
Yeah, Caesar, you get a text saying, hey, where are you, from Poppy.
I said, don't worry, I'll be there soon.
Oh, you fuck. Did you have to do it like that? Where do you go?
He's driving to the studio.
Yeah,
to
no,
film
but
the show.
I text him, where do you go?
Where did I go? I'm driving and looking at my phone at the same time, like trying
Oh my
to...
god, he's gonna crash. No.
You hit someone. Boom.
I respond back, I'm on the way. Like, what do you mean?
I guess I don't say anything else, because like, I'll just ask him in person if he doesn't show up.
Yeah. And Caesar,
Can I just say something really quickly? Charlie is exactly like this when you message him. It's like he's actively being elusive.
It's true.
Drives me insane.
You know what's always so funny is texting Charlie and saying, how far away until you... like, what time do you think you'll arrive? And then he always will respond saying 5 minutes, because he's just, like, fucking booked an Uber the moment you messaged him. And he's ready to go. And you were just like, hey, man, will you be here at, like, I don't know, 3:30? And he's like, oh, you want me here at 1 a.m.? Yeah, I'll be there now. Give me 5.
And then very occasionally, to throw you off, he arrives really early.
Yeah. Well, one time...
It evens it out, so that on average I'm on time.
One time we were doing D&D at like 6, and Charlie messaged and said, how early can I arrive? And I went, I don't know, as early as you like, expecting him to arrive at like 5, and he knocks on our door 10 minutes later, and it was 1 p.m.
And
I was like,
was that here?
Yeah, and I was like,
Wasn't
we
it
haven't even...
Even worse when it's like, he's like, when, like, how early can I be? And you're like, I guess whenever. And then didn't he knock on our door, like, genuinely 90 seconds later?
Yeah, he was
Like, he
clearly,
was
like,
already
on the
here.
street. He was clearly on the street,
And
he
then
was like...
realised he hadn't fucking asked?
He was like, oh, I guess I'm here now. I think
'Cause
what
I was
happened
staying with
was
my
he blacked out, and he accidentally walked all the way here, and then he woke up and he went, wait a minute. Oh, I guess I was supposed to arrive at this time. Let me just double check that.
Which is what's happening in this episode right now.
What are you thinking as you're driving to the studio, Caesar?
Thinking they must have started earlier than usual. Maybe we're behind on shooting, because it seemed like Poppy was like insinuating that they're waiting on me. Usually my segment's like usually 10 minutes into the show, which means like an hour into filming.
Yeah, I mean, you usually don't have to do that much for hair and makeup, because your afro comes pre-fluffed, and like, so you're kind of, it's fine if you're late, usually.
I thought Tom was going to be like, you don't have to spend much time in hair and makeup, you're just gorgeous.
You're gorgeous.
So I put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Drive up to the studio security gates.
And security guard's standing there, and he's like, oh, hey, Caesar, what's going on?
Do I remember this cat's name?
Yeah, it's Meowglin. Meowza. Meow
Is it
Bee.
because he said cat?
Yep.
A Meowth. A Meowgly.
Such a dumb fucking name. Good thing about puppets is I can just make up dumb fucking names. It doesn't fucking matter. What are you gonna do? Go, that's not realistic.
A Meowgly. Just driving in, you know. How's the kids?
Oh, they're all right, bud.
How's the litter?
Same old. Don't exist. I don't have kids, but yeah, I appreciate the gesture.
Yeah,
you know.
Just a joke.
Yeah. All right, man. Are you here for the that new show?
Yeah, whatever we're filming today, new episode. Yeah.
Cool. All right. And he opens up the gate. Make sure to validate your parking on the way out.
You're valid. Okay, and I walk into our studio,
which is empty.
Is the golf cart, like, if it was accurate to size and everything else, is it like a remote control car kind of dealio? Or is it like one of those, those children's cars that parents buy who have ridiculous money?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That size, I reckon.
It's a golf cart.
Love.
You pull in and you go into the studio and it's empty.
So, okay.
But you were supposed to film the show today. Maybe you were shooting on location?
Yeah, because sometimes we do special episodes. I haven't read the call sheet today, I guess, so I don't know. We have some. I'm assuming we have some sort of like other spaces that we use sometimes for like special episodes. Like, oh, they're going to fucking London today, and there's just like a little
Yeah,
one
you have got
London
a set.
thing.
You've got like a few like there's sort of like the main studio, which is where you film like on your standard episodes, and then there's the special studio, which is where you build like super interesting sets. So that's Studio 6, which is like just down the road.
Okay, I go out and I start going to Studio 6, and I
Yeah.
open up my emails. I haven't got my
It's just
call
so
sheet.
hard to figure out your emails on this phone as well. Like maybe it's not just not loading because
Yeah.
you should have gotten your call sheet.
Maybe it went to spam, but I don't want to put the energy to go into my spam folder. Yeah, I go to Studio 6.
Yeah, and you arrive at Studio 6, and they're filming something at Studio 6.
Okay,
It's
here we
this sort of it's this like sort of medieval style set. There's like a fire with like a big pot on it, and you see this like sort of donkey puppet shaking things into the pot. You see a bunch of people standing around. You don't see Poppy or Mr. Greyscale, but when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's the show.
Yeah,
It's a show. It's the show.
yeah. So then I walk up to one of the ADs if I see one, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm here. Sorry, I'm late. I'm ready to go."
And the AD looks at you and he's like, sorry, what show are you a part of? And when he says that to you, you realize that you don't remember. You just remember being on the show.
The show.
You're
that we're
on
film.
you're on Season Quest with Ambrosia the donkey.
You know, Tom, I had an idea about 2 episodes into Heroes where I was going to make a hero called Season Quest 2, but then I forgot to.
Season Quest 2, the sequel.
I mean, this show's clearly Season Quest. It's medieval themed. He's seasoning a pot.
Yeah.
And he's an ass, which all 4 of us are.
Yeah, I'm in
Why don't you go?
I'm in costume.
Yeah, go talk to hair and makeup, and we'll sort something out for you guys.
All right.
And he sort of walks away to go find a producer. And Poppy and Mr. Greyscale. Caesar's still not here. It's been an hour.
Well, I wonder where that Caesar is, because surely if he was on his way back from anywhere in Demolina, he'd be here by now.
Yeah, Demolina's the kind of place where everything is 15 minutes away.
Yeah. I'll just call him.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Your phone starts ringing. Caesar, you're in makeup chair.
Shit. Okay. Sorry, guys. I hold it a little bit far away from my face so that I don't get in their way. I put it on speaker. Hey, Poppy. Sorry.
Where are you?
I'm in the chair. I'm getting did up.
You hear like the familiar hustle and bustle of a set. You know, people just talking over each other and yelling and stuff.
Is your phone on speaker, Poppy?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Are you on a set? What are you doing?
I saw we weren't recording at the regular place today, so I just went to Studio 6, and I guess we're here. So yeah, I'm in the chair. Sorry, I'm late. I don't know.
Do you
slept in.
remember yesterday, Caesar?
Yeah, of course you remember yesterday.
Yeah.
You were, you know, just
Yeah, we drove around town. We went to Mr. Greyscale's house.
went to the library, grabbed a
Went
couple
to the
books.
library.
Do you remember us talking to producer yesterday?
Yeah. We talked about whatever was filming today.
We're not doing craftostrophy right now.
You don't
No,
know
we're doing
Craft
Season
Ostrophy.
Quest.
Yeah, Season Quest.
Did you get another show?
Another show. No, this
Another
is our
show.
Our show, right?
It's the show.
This is the show. This is the show. This is the show.
Caesar, no, it's not. We did craftostrophy. We don't do craftostrophy anymore. As of yesterday, we're trying to get it back. Do you remember? We're trying to find Alma.
Where are you?
I'm still at Mr. Greyscale's house.
I'm sitting here eating steak and flies. Are you coming back here or not?
When they're saying this stuff to you, it's like an egg is cracking in your head.
Do you remember Alma?
Yeah, little green guy.
Do you remember looking for him? Read your notes.
Oh yeah. I pull out my notebook.
and you read your notes and you see everything that you've been writing about memory and stuff like that.
And I get up from the makeup chair and I'm like, sorry, guys, I'd got the wrong place, I think.
Yeah, you see a guy walk up to you who you recognize from another schmooze fest. It's Carrot Butt. So, what do you think you're doing on my fucking set? You guys hear this through the speaker of the phone.
No, it was just, it was a mistake, Carrot Butt.
We're trying to record the freaking episode of season quit. You know, it's...
I didn't want to interrupt.
No, certainly did.
Well, if some guy getting in a makeup chair interrupts your show, you've got a pretty shoddy production. Let me just say that, first of all.
Yeah, well, security's on its way and they're going to deal with you, okay? Real rightly, okay?
Yeah, well, they can try to fucking catch me, but I'm already going to be out of here. I don't know why I'm being so aggressive about this. I'm just very confused.
Caesar, just leave.
I'm leaving.
You leave. Carrot Butt's like talking to that AD still. He's got that stupid voice that's really hard on my throat. I can feel a lump forming right down at the bottom of my neck when I do that voice. I'm clearly giving myself vocal nodes.
Yikes.
I walk out of the studio into the fresh air, and I take a deep Muppety breath, and I just like sit down on the curb and stare at my notes and try to get it all back.
And as you read through it, the egg cracks open and you sort of like remember everything that happened yesterday.
Thank you for listening. You can find us at Season Quest Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.